What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Effing Terrible podcast. As always, I'm effing terrible. As always, I also have my favorite Floridian, Florida Steve. And today we are joined by another Midwesterner. We have Specs, who is here to, from my guess, break my heart and hurt my feelings. That's all I can hope for. Is that correct?
What he's gonna do is he's gonna explain the unexplainable.
All right, and in that guise of what we're talking about, I understand that we're probably discussing the phenomenon that is the Chicago Bears.
But before we do, last episode I made a statement that I've never made it in my life, and I said I am a fan of Notre Dame this year. I'm on board. I love the team. I love the coaching staff. I love everything about this team. I've never
Hold on, just a minute. Hold on, one second. Hold on. Let me. You can see it in the background there. Let me get my headrest up and get comfy. All right, now tell me more about how great the Irish are.
I love them. I love this team. I've never said that a day in my life. I've hated Notre Dame since the day I was born, and it's pissed you off since the day I've known you. Brent, what do you got for us?
All right, so guys, I'm excited to be here. I have been a U of I fan as far as I can remember because my grandpa used to take me to games, and just being a football fan of that program has been like uninspiring, even way worse than the Bears have ever been. It's just, a few years here and there, but I just never loved. I'm a U of I basketball fan. I watch every game. I'm pretty diehard with that. But recently, my cousins who live on the West Coast, my cousin Michael, has these boys. Their oldest was starting QB at Boise State for 3 years, then Louisiana Tech for a year, and then Wake Forest last year. And he started every stop. I'm like, oh shit, he's a D1 stud. And then his brothers, Tiger and Bear, transfer from Stanford to BYU this spring, and I'm like, oh shit, he just early enrolled to BYU or to Stanford with his brother who was a junior there playing receiver, and I'm like, wow. So I heard that he was it was just academically being a Division I quarterback and a student at Stanford is not for every kid. That's like
definitely not for me.
Yeah. So his brother Tiger finished in 2.5 years, computer science degree, just has a helicopter pilot license and speaks Mandarin. Like I'm like, this kid's like, I'm like, who the hell are my cousin's kids, man? Like, this is crazy. So
did he marry an Asian woman? Because Asian women are. Did he really? Yes. I knew it.
He was in the military. He was in the military. He was in the Naval Academy. His father was killed in a flying exercise on base when he was 2 years old, and when he finally got to that age, he got into the Naval Academy in Annapolis. I guess he had his share of trouble, little run it. He was a little wild guy, but really good dude and smart as a whip. But he ended up, moving out west. I think he was in the Marine Corps after that. So I don't even know how that works. You would know, Donnie, about. But like, how do you go? I'm like, how do you go to the Naval Academy and then come out as a commissioned Marine? I don't understand how that works.
Oh, it's basically like if you picture a minor league team calling up someone to a majors. The military could take from wherever they want.
Okay, all right. So that makes some sense. So he did marry an Asian woman out west in California. They raised him in the foothills outside of Marietta Valley, like Lake Elsinore, and has raised like just some super impressive kids. And so we've been following. Now all of a sudden this year we became BYU supporters, which is really strange because like we're watching his son Bear won the quarterback job starting as a true freshman, comes right into BYU after Jake Retzloff gets sent out of there for having premarital sex. Like he was going to give a 7-game suspension. So my cousin, 2 weeks before that, they both transfer to BYU. 2 weeks later, Jake Retzloff gets caught with a sexual harassment or assault or something that got dropped, but he ended up getting a 7-game suspension for code of conduct for the Mormons, like basically like the BYU code of conduct. So he transfers to Tulane, and that's one of the teams who's most likely going to steal one of those spots. And then you have BYU who, like we went down to Cincinnati as my entire family. There was 15 of us. We went down, all my brothers, sister, my mom. We went down and we were like hanging out with Bear and Tiger at the team hotel. And Chase Roberts walks up. He's like, "Is this your family from Chicago?" And I was like, "Ty, it's Chase Roberts, the really good receiver on BYU. We watch him every week, and I think he's going to go to the league. He's 6'4", 205 pounds. He's 24 years old. He's a grown-ass man." And then I was like, "Oh, shit, I'm like a total fanboy right now. Like, I'm like, did you see Bear's thighs? He is huge, because like we're not close. Like they've lived on the West Coast their entire lives. We don't. My son does text Tiger. Tiger sent some gloves from Stanford. He gave him some gloves. We had an incredible weekend in Cincinnati. My whole family's down there. We're all in BYU gear. None of us are Mormon. We're barely religious, and we just get heckled the entire time.
Football is a religion, if you ask me. Just an argument,
You're right.
A different podcast for a different day.
Yes.
So
but we go down there, yeah.
Get to your bigger premise, though.
So my buddy's a big Notre Dame fan that I work with, and he's saying, he's like, "Dude, BYU beats Texas Tech," and he's been saying BYU's overrated. They're overrated. They suck. I'm like, "Why do you hate BYU so much?" And I realized it's because they could steal one of those spots from Notre Dame. If they beat Texas Tech, they have to be in the playoff, and then Texas Tech probably still gets a bid too. So now that's two Big 12 teams. That's going to take one of those spots out between Notre Dame, Alabama, and who's the other team?
You got to look out for Miami. Well, you have to look out for Miami too.
Yep,
because the problem is Miami and Notre Dame have the head-to-head.
And so so I've never been into, I feel like I'm an imposter because like I'm not a diehard BYU fan by any means. I'm just paying attention because it's pretty cool. I'm rooting for my cousins' kids, and and also getting a chance to see like one of the fun. So at Cincinnati, we're with all Mormons, but we're drinking and like we're tailgating like on campus, and we're just getting heckled the whole time. I'm with my little kids, and these dudes are they're like, "Fuck you, Mormons, fuck you," and I'm like. So I keep soaking, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm like holding up a beer. I'm like, I'm fucking drinking a beer, dipshit. I'm not fucking Mormon. And so we went in there with mostly Mormons, and this woman gets up. She just heavy set Southern Ohio, 50-year-old woman gets up next to us after BYU takes the lead or something. She gets up, and she goes, "Fuck you, Mormons!" And she fucking falls, and fucking her tall boy at Coors Light smashes on the concrete steps. And I'm like, I look at her and I bust out laughing real quick, but then I realize I'm like, "Are you okay?"
That's Jesus' work.
Exactly. So I'm like, Are you okay?" And she's like, "Fuck you!" And I'm like, "Okay, take it easy." Her son's looking at me. He's like 25.
God's watching.
Jesus tripped her.
It was pretty funny being like this random BYU supporting family. But like my son's holding Bears dinner after he gets off the field while he walks and signs all these autographs for kids that would kill to be in my son's spot. My son's just sliding with Bear, going, "Bear, please, Tiger, please sign." And I'm just like, and I'm sitting there with him, and I'm kind of eating it up too. I'm like, this is pretty fucking cool. Like these are high level football players.
I gotta make a little comment here. Name your kids Tiger and Bear. It's like naming your kid Champ. Like your kids better succeed, because if they don't succeed, all they are is assholes, right?
Yeah.
But what's your name?
Yeah, they gotta be good.
You're a professional athlete, or you wear overalls with no t-shirt. There's no in between.
You're a wrestler. Maybe you're a wrestler.
Yeah.
It's
like naming your kid Jeeves. You're setting them up for either a great life or a failure. Like where they're going.
You can ask him, or you can ask him for another glass of wine.
Yeah. So it's gonna be weird as it comes down. Obviously this weekend will be a lot. To see what happens with what happens. Like you said, BYU sneaks in.
I just
if
don't
it comes
see
down
it.
to Notre Dame or Miami.
They're 13.5-point dogs, and they got whooped on the line of scrimmage, and that's something that BYU normally doesn't do. Like when I've watched their games, they don't have the perimeter speed that a lot of these teams have. But what they do have is they have grown-ass men in the trenches, and they have dudes that are 24, 25. I mean, they have some tough-nosed dudes. But so they can smash LJ Martin's he's a good back. He's not anywhere near as the explosive backs that ND has, but he's a big power back, 6'2", 230, probably
And
225.
they and BYU's got a lot more pent up sexual frustration.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. They're not going to soak all week getting ready for that game.
Damn right. But see, funny because I thought you were going to go into it with me and we were going to talk about your team. There's no other way to describe what's going on with the Chicago Bears. This season's touched by God. Like, I mean, everything that could fall the Bears' way. Arguably, I hate to say the word worst, but they might be the worst 9-3 team ever. Like, they struggle to beat the most mediocre of teams, but at some point,
But they do.
You have to just say, but they're still winning. So
so we've been, my buddies and I, all we do is text each other about the Bears. I mean, that's all we do. And, and some of them are just like, no way, I'm not getting my hopes up. This team, Caleb still sucks. He can't, he's not throwing accurate passes, even to open guys. He can't hit, there are a lot of flaws in this team. The defense is so banged up. I don't know how they continue to get turnovers. Those aren't sustainable normally. But I also look at, every game has been like, oh my God, they look embarrassing for 3 quarters. And all of a sudden, fourth quarter turns on and they start making plays. They get this turnover here. And a lot of it is lucky. But after a while, you're like, well, if they have. So prior to, I was watching on the way home from Cincinnati. I was watching the Bears. Well, we were listening to the Bears games. I couldn't watch it until I got to Lafayette, and then it kicked on my regional on my phone, my YouTube TV. So finally, I was able to watch the second half on my drive home, and I was just kind of as I'm driving watching the Bears game. But I'm
safe.
Yeah, I was just just taking a glance, but I'm listening to it mostly, and the whole time I'm like, they're doing this again. It was just like this. It's hard to watch football because it's not clean, it's not pretty, and then they escape finally a winning team. Finally, they play a winning team and they win it. And then I'm like, okay, 8-3, but it's all smoke and mirrors right now. And then the unthinkable happens in my mind. I know Philly's got problems, and they just blew that 21-0 lead to Dallas, and that's got to hurt. And Philly fans are just ready to go ape shit every time anything happens. So I knew if they could get out to a lead, the Philly fans would start turning quickly on the whole team, which is crazy to think.
Par for the course. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so crazy. They're chucking eggs. Kids are chucking eggs.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
At the offensive coordinator's house. I love that.
It's literally the depravity of a Philly fan is the only thing, is the only redeeming value is to see how far they'll go.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. And, then going into this game on Black Friday, I'm like, I got excited for the Illinois-UConn basketball game. Illinois doesn't stand a chance. UConn's just so much better. Again, I'm like, God, Illinois is still going to be this like top 15 team who gets bounced in the second round. I mean, it's just like every year. But anyways, but so the Bears, so then they come on at 2:00, and I'm thinking the same thing. Like, I just want to see if they belong. I just wanted to see if they belonged against the some of the elite teams in the NFL. And the Eagles are maybe not this season elite, but they're an elite franchise right now compared to the Bears as far as their winning ways. And I mean, that's totally different level of football in my mind. But the Bears go into there and completely dominate physically and outcoach.
They ran all over them.
It was insane.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift and Monangai.
Monangai.
No, Mogwai. Gizmo.
Kyle Monangai.
Yeah.
No,
Kyle
Gizmo.
Monangai.
Gizmo. He's a Mogwai.
Yeah.
Mogwai.
How does that happen? How do they? You have
a seventh rounder.
If you just look on paper, Philadelphia is stacked. I mean, and I don't even we had this conversation in the past. I don't get it. It's kind of like what football is right now. I don't understand how Philly put this roster together. I don't know how they can maintain it. I don't know how they draft the greatest players ever and then acquire like 16 more picks every year and have just unlimited salary cap.
They somehow dipped in and they got Jalen Phillips real quick. Like, oh, you guys don't need an elite pass rusher. We'll take him on.
Yeah.
But the thing is like it's so similar to like it's kind of like a Bear thing, but like doesn't Philly do this a lot? Don't they get out and win 6 games and then they have a huge problem and their coach is on the hot seat? They're going to get rid of somebody and then they figure it out. They always hit a dry spell where they're all like, "Give me the ball, no, give me the ball, like me, and then they look like dog shit for a month and then they find a way to bounce back. I just the game didn't look that didn't look like the Eagles. It just didn't look like them. They looked shocked. They looked like
And
they were
that didn't look like
unenthusiastic.
and that didn't look like the Bears team that I've watched all season. I saw a team that was extremely efficient in what they were doing offensively, maybe because they weren't throwing the ball a ton, and that's probably why, because Caleb does not he doesn't officially work the game. He'll miss those throws that stop drives, and
Yeah.
he's not that clean right now. But I've been watching, you guys familiar with JT O'Sullivan's breakdowns in QB School? He does a good job, I think, of breaking down quarterbacks' performances. And he does like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and he does Caleb a lot. And I've been watching those because I want to see how far away is it from working. Because when I was watching those same films with Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky, there was glaring issues. Yeah, there were glaring issues that they couldn't process the game fast enough. They were getting hooked on the wrong reads. They would get jittery in the pocket. So I want to see, does Caleb have at least those traits while he's working out this inaccuracy thing, or is it just like, is that just it? But like, I've been less focused on Caleb Williams, honestly, because I know that's what actually ultimately that's what's going to tell if the Bears can win a title eventually over the next couple of years. It has to be Caleb Williams playing to an elite level. But they have a coaching staff and a head coach in Ben Johnson who seems to get how to lead guys in a locker room, how to out-scheme opponents when he needs to, how to adjust to his personnel. So I'm excited about it.
So
Dude,
I actually totally disagree with you. Caleb Williams is not going to win them a championship because Caleb Williams wasn't accurate in college. I don't think we both predicted Caleb Williams would be trash in the NFL. He's somewhat proving us wrong only because he's winning. I didn't think he could win. He's never going to be that guy. I honestly believe that. But
I'm not saying
not the key.
I'm not saying he is.
But he's not the key to winning a championship because right now, even in his second year, he's good enough. If you have a defense and an offensive line, he's good enough to win you a championship. And Donnie didn't like hearing this last week, but it's true. He doesn't have to be great. He doesn't have to even be he can be a mediocre quarterback.
He could be a meddling middle of the road guy. If Ben Johnson, first of all, these are the differences about Ben Johnson. One, he clearly knows how to game plan and scheme to protect his quarterback from fucking things up. Like, he's doing a really good job of only letting him do the things he can do and not giving him an opportunity to throw bad interceptions or make him try and do things he can't do. The other part of it is, and what I think I underestimated when I put way more money on the Eagles than I should have, that entire team is dying to run through a brick wall for Ben Johnson. They can't wait to do it. He is a leader of men. He's an intelligent football guy. And yeah, maybe Caleb Williams won't be a top 10 quarterback, but with his contract the way it is right now, I think you have a 2 or 3 year window where you can stack your defense, build that offensive line, and they can win a Super Bowl because of Ben Johnson in spite of Caleb Williams. Like, he could be their Trent Dilfer. He could be those guys. Like, he could do that. And we were saying this the other day when we did the podcast. Every single quarterback that's on an NFL roster can make throws. They're all athletic freaks. The difference is how quickly they can make those decisions and how quickly they're getting their information. If you can get him the amount of time that they need, if you can scheme the right way to make sure that they're not put in positions to fail, you can win. You don't need a great quarterback. You need one that doesn't kill you.
Yeah, Daniel Jones was a joke until this year, when he is arguably one of the best offensive lines in football. Daniel Jones was a joke. Now everyone's like, oh, Daniel Jones is good. And we talked about this last week. It's every team's giving up on quarterbacks quick, and they're giving up on coaching staffs. It's like, look at your GMs. What are they drafting? Are they drafting good offensive lines? Are they drafting good defensive lines? Most aren't. Most of the teams that have crappy quarterbacks have left. We talked about it. Baker, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones. Who's the fourth one we were talking about? It doesn't matter. Shedeur
Geno
Sanders.
Smith,
Shedeur
had
Sanders
1
is
year.
gonna fall in that same category. Dude could leave and go. I'm just saying he could. He's the next in line.
He could. He's probably not gonna.
Right.
He
Well,
could.
You know,
But like
you
Nick
said the same thing
Foles.
about
Nick
Baker.
Foles won a Super Bowl. Nick
What?
Foles won a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Nick Foles won a Super Bowl.
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Caleb Williams could win a Super Bowl if you have
Absolutely,
the right coaching
he
staff,
could.
the right GM, putting an offensive line in front of him. It's easy to
The-
hide
the only-
mistakes.
The only thing I would disagree on is that Caleb seems more to me boom or bust. I think that he's either got to be a top because he plays so inefficiently. He doesn't make those Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfers. They operated clean offenses. They were able to get the ball to the playmakers when they needed to. They were able to make the checks in the line of scrimmage, help their centers. I mean, they ran an efficient offense, whereas Caleb's running an efficient offense against Philadelphia looked efficient, but he needs to operate way more efficiently for him to be in that category of a game manager who can win with better, with a great defense and a great offensive line and some great weapons. They're starting to put those pieces together. The roster's not ready at this point, but it's getting closer, or it's closer than I thought. But Caleb, I feel is like a boom. He's a boom or bust kid. He's either going to be, he's not going to be Ben. He's either going to be a perennial, like Pro Bowler after this year, or he's going to be not Ben Johnson's quarterback at a year or two.
Well, here's the weird thing is like for being wildly inaccurate at times and missing wide open wide receivers, he doesn't throw a lot of picks.
No, he's
doesn't. Inaccurate into a point where he's always throwing it away from it. Yeah, he's overthrowing or leading. I don't know if I would at this point you almost have to think he's doing it on purpose, where he's erring on the side of caution. Because for being wildly inaccurate, he doesn't get picked very much. So I feel like I get exactly what you're saying, that he doesn't appear like a game manager because he's so wildly inaccurate, and game managers dink and dunk and run that. But like at some point you have to look at it and go, well, that's part of his game because his luck would run out by this point. This isn't luck. He's either missing by overthrowing or being so wildly inaccurate because he's putting the ball where he's going, all right, this is a place where if the guy makes an outstanding play, maybe they'll make a catch. But if not, no one else is going to touch it. And I don't like him. I hate him. As a human, I hate him.
Yeah.
But like, you can't overlook the fact that although he misses a lot of wide open throws, he doesn't throw a lot of picks. And he's not getting sacked like he did last year either.
Yeah, let me ask you this. You said you see him as a boom or a bust. Do you think that has anything to do with ego? Like, does he have the ego?
His ego?
Does he have the ego to say, listen, man, I'm not that guy, but if I just play this game, this team can win? Or does he have the ego where he's like, no, fuck it, I got this, man. Like, I got this team on my shoulders. I'm gonna throw that ball in there. And like Donnie said, he's not throwing interceptions, but he's not throwing great passes all the time. So does he have an ego?
I think both. I think you have to play at that level.
I agree.
But I think
the quarterbacks that we were just talking about they don't seem to have ego the way some guys do. Some guys are going, I'm good, but I'm not great. So I'm just going to play my game. I'm Nick Foles. I'm just going to play my game. I'm Brad Johnson. I'm going to play my game. I'm Trent Dilfer. I'm not, Peyton Manning. I'm just going to play my game. I'm going to win a Super Bowl. Does Caleb have that in him, you think? Or do you think he's like, I'm it, man. I'm the guy. I'm going to win us a Super Bowl?
So I would say just from, I don't know personally.
You don't know him? What the fuck?
I see the image.
What are we doing this for? I thought he knew the guy.
I invited him. I thought he knew him.
I'm sorry, guys. I paint his nails. That's all I do. We don't talk.
So right now it's his toenails, but
Brent also married an Asian.
False. I honestly think that he's trying to be a game manager to help his team win. He wanted to win. He hated that losing season. It was brutal. I mean, it's so I think that he is willing to do whatever it's going to take to work this offense. But Ben Johnson just said today that we are winning in spite of our passing game. He's well aware that Caleb's not performing. Our head coach just said that we are winning in spite of our passing game, and we all have responsibility to get that better. So he knows. He said the receivers need to run crisper routes with their timing. Caleb needs to deliver the ball when guys are open on the first read. He goes, he needs them. So he alluded to the fact that Caleb's missing primary receivers in timing, and that can't happen. You cannot do that. You cannot be those quarterbacks we were talking about and miss those layups in the NFL, because he does have that ability to turn on that switch, and he has enough juice in those legs. I mean, he's one of 4 runners to hit 20 miles per hour like 4 different times or something. And the other guys are like Jahmyr Gibbs, and
he's an athletic freak. But here's a question that we were bringing up before, and as a Bear fan, this is what you get to answer, because I have my feelings, but I don't like the Bears.
Yeah.
Here's what's got to happen.
I'm getting a beer, by the way.
Okay.
I need this.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm back.
So,
all right.
You're 2 years into Caleb Williams right now. If he's slow, let's say he gets slightly better next year. Let's say it's not huge leaps, but he's better than he was this year, but still not great. The problem is at some point you're going to have to decide if you're going to pay him, and he's going to want to be paid like a top-tier quarterback. And the problem is if you're going to dump $500 million into him, he needs to be a guy who can make random average wide receivers good. And he needs to be able to deal with a less potent offensive line, because you got to take money away from different aspects of your team because you're paying a $500 million quarterback. As a Bear fan, like a diehard Bears fan, in 2 years, are you comfortable locking him up for $500 million?
I would definitely need another year before I extend, because when can you offer a rookie extension?
I think
they always say they pick up the 5th year or a 4th year option, or is it a 5th year option?
It's because he's a first round pick. They'll be able to pick a 5th year.
Yeah.
So he has a 4-year contract, and then usually after year 3, they try to negotiate to get a better team friendly deal. They'll secure the bag for the quarterback without breaking the franchise. Ideally.
That's the idea. So you got to figure,
unless you're the Cowboys.
You got to figure next year at some point they're going to start having this discussion.
I bet they need a season and a half. I think they need another off season with Ben. They need another with all this personnel. It looks like they probably are returning that entire offense, I would imagine. I mean, offensive line, I think, is all under contract. They're older.
DJ Moore's probably gone.
He can go. I've watched enough film on him to know that he does not run routes as hard as he needs to. They're sloppy. He doesn't block. I mean, he blocks enough to be on the field right now, but it's barely. And he does not fit Ben Johnson's offense. So
and then you got to figure DeAndre Swift's probably gone.
So he's a 3rd-year deal, or he was a 3-year deal when he signed. This is year 2. So he's got another year, but I don't know how, they tear that shit up a lot of times.
They'll bounce him to save a little bit of cash.
It could be a player option. Who knows? I don't know how the NFL contracts work.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up. That one, and then also there's a lot of talk that Kmet might be gone too.
Honestly,
I don't know why they would.
I don't think so. With the emergence, I know Kmet and Loveland play 2 different roles. So they're tight ends, but they play 2 different positions basically in that offense. And Kmet's like a solid player. I know he caught that touchdown, but he's another one that, I'm just regurgitating what JT O'Sullivan says, but he knows more about this shit than I do watching these guys run routes. So I'll have to take his opinion as a guy who watches film and played in the NFL and does, this is what he does for a living. So I will listen to what he has to say, at least as far as how he observes. And he's always tearing up Cole Kmet and DJ Moore. He calls Cole Kmet the eligible tackle because he cannot get separation at all, ever. He's like, here's your boy, cleared 85, the eligible tackle. And then sometimes he'll be like, actually, that was a really nice player. That was this. But he has trouble finding compliments for DJ Moore and for Cole Kmet, which I feel like Kmet's an awesome dude. He's a huge part of that team. I'm sure that locker room, he's just talking about what he sees on tape. So that's not about all the other attributes that Cole Kmet brings to the table.
Which I'm sure.
Ben Johnson's only going to care about that. Right? I mean,
and the other part is like that.
Those are he's going to be like, bounce, dude. You're done.
Those guys are big ticket numbers. Like if they can find a way to offload that money, like
I think their offense, they're not a huge part. I would say Luther Burden has already shown to be he's more of a dog type, but he's not picking up the offense. It's going to be a project. He seems like he's struggling to earn his playing time, even though he's pretty clearly he's got better hands. He runs better routes. He's not afraid to go catch balls in traffic. And so, but he's not carving out a huge role right now. And I think Caleb being inefficient is hurting that a little bit too. But the Roman Dunze has been the concerning one for me because he's not going anywhere. He needs to be a top 10 pick. And right now, he doesn't get separation and he doesn't catch contested balls as well as he's supposed to with that size and lack of separation. And so that's the one who's been the disappointment. I love what I see out of Colson Loveland. That dude's got strong hands. He's a mismatch to safeties. He's a mismatch to linebackers. He's a perfect chess piece for Ben Johnson to move around, and he's a willing blocker. He's nasty.
I've gone a full 180 on that one.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the year, I was very, very uncomfortable about I was like, man, what a fucking mistake because they weren't using him at all. And now he looks like he's in perfect unison. Like now he seems like a perfect, a perfect fit for that offense. So I think that's a good one. But
the mistake was that it looked like they overdrafted him. When you see what they're doing in Indy, it was like, dude, that was the guy you should have drafted.
Well, I mean, right now I would say they both look very similar at this point. Like, yeah, because Tyler Warren was real high. Lately, he's been coming down a little bit.
Yeah,
Colson Loveland's going up.
Down. But at draft time, it was like, what did you do? You drafted what?
Yeah.
You drafted
But I mean, it seems to be working.
I don't get it.
It seems to be working, but the other part of it is like when you draft next year, I mean, there's so many holes on that defense that now need to get repaired. And then also they need to be, if they don't want to fall back in this scenario, they need to be building the depth on that offensive line now. Like you're going to have to find. Yeah, Joe Thuney will not be around at this level for too many more years.
No.
If you get another full year of him healthy, you should be ecstatic. Like he's getting older, and like you're gonna have to find a guy that's gonna be his understudy. But I don't know. So I guess as we try and put a little end on this and go to something else, huge game Sunday.
This is the one that always gives. This starts making me. I'm drinking already just thinking about. Like the Philly game was a measuring stick to see like where are the Bears right now as a team, and then they surpassed expectations nationally and with and with Bears fans that now we're like, oh shit, we're going into Lambeau as the 1 seed, but the Bears are still, they were almost 7-point dogs. They're 5.5 and 6-point dogs. I mean, they're still underdogs. They're not favored to win. They're not looked at as the better team right now, even though they have that seeding. Until they can beat Green Bay and Lambeau for a meaningful game like that, it's still Green Bay. And Detroit looks like they've slipped, but the Bears still have to beat them at home. I mean, I would say I thought they would still finish with 10 wins, like when they were 8-3. I thought they would be a 10-win team and hope to maybe get in, and I would be happy with that season, to be honest. And then they go into Philly and do what they did to Philly, even though Philly's got bigger problems than it seems. And the wheels start coming off. Who knows? But I doubt it.
Well, the quarterback doesn't seem to be more than a tush push, and that didn't work versus the Bears.
No. The weird thing is though, like if the Bears lose every single game for the rest of this season and miss the playoffs, Bear fans should still be happy. Things are going in an amazing direction. Your coach is a dog. Your team loves him. You have found a way to stop losing games you shouldn't lose. You win games you should win. Like, even if it's close, you don't piss away close games anymore, You're not doing stupid shit, like running over here to yell at the fans while the game's being won over here. Like, you figured out the coaching carousel. That's handled. You're good.
They
I would say
won the
that they
coaching
could do
lottery.
nothing and still be great. What?
Yeah, they won the coaching lottery. We've covered that. Like Ben Johnson's was the lottery. Like,
Well,
for the
and that's
Bears.
I was thinking about this the other day because I like to make stupid bets. What are your feelings about who will be picked as coach of the year? We lost. Oh, there it is.
Vrabel that is a really
Yeah,
tough
it's probably
call
Vrabel.
because
Yeah,
it's got to be.
Vrabel?
I think Vrabel.
Sean Payton?
No,
Yeah,
because Mike Vrabel has arguably one of the best teams in football right now.
So do the Broncos.
Yeah, but they're not as good as the Patriots. Patriots have 10 straight wins. Like, I'm sorry, that I think that's a lock.
But don't the Browns or the Broncos? They're what? Are they 9-2?
Yeah, but they don't have 10 straight wins. Like, I just
they're one win. The Broncos are one win behind them.
Yeah, you're asking me a question. I'm giving you an answer. That's all I can tell you.
My bet is the only reason the Patriots have one more win is because they haven't had a bye yet.
Okay, you're asking me a question. I'm giving you an answer. That's
so.
It.
If the Broncos,
that's what it comes down to.
If the
Broncos
Broncos
I had to put money
win
on it, it's Vrabel. He's the coach of the year.
And not
the only thing I would add. The only thing I would add is that Drake May is right now MVP, close to front runner. If not, he's right there in the top 3 for. So does a coach get credit as not an offensive, like Mike Vrabel has nothing to do with Drake May's performance.
He's the head of the team. He's the head of the team.
No, he is. But I'm just throwing it out there. So you have an MVP level playing quarterback. That's going to help your team have 10 wins, right? Whereas, Ben Johnson is barely getting Caleb to perform at an average level, and Sean Payton's getting, Bo Nix, but that team's not loaded with talent. So it's like, is the coaching job actually better from Sean Payton and Ben Johnson when Mike Vrabel has more of an overall seeing defense, special teams? He's got a really good team, but Drake May is playing out of his mind.
That's a great point. Like, does his quarterback winning the MVP or being a front runner for the MVP hurt him in that the coach of the year race?
So I totally agree with everything you guys both said. Unfortunately, I've watched this. We've watched this time in, time out. Those things don't matter. They don't take those things into consideration. They don't think deep about these awards. It's going to be who's impressing me right now, and if Mike Vrabel's impressing you right now. That's it. I mean, look at that division. They're beating out the Bills. Josh Allen's a nobody in that division right now. That's what they're going to look at. They're not going to look at what we're talking about right now. They're going to go eye test really quick and then go Mike Vrabel wins. Watch.
Has Mike Vrabel won a coach of the year before? Do you know? Didn't he win it in Tennessee?
I thought he did.
I think he might have, yeah.
So is Sean Payton's won one too, right? Hasn't he won one when he was with New Orleans?
I'm sure he did.
I had to have.
I wonder if Ben Johnson gets the vote just for the fact that he's never been there before.
If I was voting, he'd be way up there on the list. Mike Vrabel would not, for everything we just talked about. But I've seen this go down. We've watched this happen way too many times. And
it would be deserving.
Probably going to win it.
Any other year, Ben Johnson wins it in a walk. But it's just this year's a weird year. The whole fucking year's weird.
So here, speaking of weird years, okay, so this is a weird year. And Brent, Specs, you just said this. You said this a little bit ago. You're not sure the Bears can do blah, blah, blah. Listen, man, who's in the playoffs right now?
There's really not any world beater.
It's literally the most obscene playoff picture we've seen in a long time. Like Donnie always says, what is this? Like the early 2000s? The Seahawks are in. The Jaguars are in. Like, dude, you get in the playoffs this year. you can do anything. The Bears can actually do damage in the playoffs this year. Just keep winning. Just keep finding a way. Get into the playoffs. The playoffs aren't looking like they're going to be tough this year.
There's no world beaters. No,
it's going to be we said this last week. This is going to be the oddest looking playoff bracket that we've seen maybe ever.
Well, that's the thing is I was watching ESPN today, which I hate because fuck ESPN. But I heard 2 professional football reporters tell me they think the Seattle Seahawks are the best team in the NFC.
I could
And,
see.
I mean, I'm
they
not
got a
saying
dominant-
I'm not even saying they're wrong. I'm just saying, what fucking world are we in?
I know and who's their quarterback? Sam Darnold. We're in the upside down. Stranger Things gets released, and we immediately are in the upside down. We don't know what's happening. Seattle is an awesome team. Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind.
Okay, timeout. I forgot. I already forgot his name. Who's the coach in Seattle?
I don't know.
Is he coach of the year? Maybe he's coach of the year.
Maybe he's coach of the year. I don't even know his name.
Hey, wait, isn't Steichen? Isn't Steichen the coach? Isn't Shane Steichen the coach in Indianapolis?
Yes,
he's not.
He's
leading.
Do it.
He's leading the Colts to their winning their division with Daniel Jones.
I know, but you want to know why he's not going to get it? They have the best offensive line in football and the best running back in football right now. And Daniel Jones is just doing his job.
With a broken leg.
With a broken fibula.
It is a wild year, and this would be a year where I start thinking, I highly doubt the Bears finish as the 1 seed. But it's just pretty nice looking at that right now. Now, I would say that they have a better chance of missing the playoffs than they have keeping the 1 seed. I think,
so that's the numbers. So it's funny. So like they did the numbers yesterday, and they said that if New England comes off their bye and loses the next game, their probability of making the playoffs goes down to like 91%. If the Bears lose Sunday, their probability of making the playoff drops down to 70%.
Wow.
So like they need to win. But yeah, the whole fucking thing's upside down. I can't with this shit anymore. I don't know.
And to preface what you said, like this is a big weekend. Green Bay comes off a giant win that I didn't see coming. I was like, no, there's no chance. Like Green Bay's going to probably get steamrolled. No, they didn't. So like, there's no one knows. This is going to come down to like the final weeks.
I don't know. Week, it's almost like watching my fantasy football. It don't make no sense.
No shit, because I'm in second to last place.
Yeah.
None of that makes sense.
No, doesn't seem to you.
But
makes all the sense in the world to me.
Yeah. I have 1 out of 3 teams that are worth a shit. It sucks.
So that being said,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that if the Bears are able to host a playoff game, 1 game, and you got to have Sam Darnold come play in frigid temperatures, or even Matt Stafford. I mean, Matt Stafford's a great quarterback and he can handle it, but it's like there's not in the NFC. I look and I'm like, who's really terrifying?
Nobody.
I mean, so Bears could have a chance against any of those teams. Now we'll see. Green Bay could be the team that they just can't beat. They got a dominant defense. I mean, this game, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And then you also have to be careful when if Detroit catches their groove again, that offense is terrifying.
Well, the crazy thing is if you look at actual like statistical leaders across the NFL, like right now, the Cowboys are the most impressive offense. They're the best offense in football. They're not even in the playoffs. So like nothing, when we say like nothing makes sense, you have no idea what 1 week to the next is going to lead to. Once the playoffs start, I think it's going to be a crapshoot. For one, I'm not betting on anything in the playoffs this year. Unless I'm just betting like unless I'm betting the dumbest bet, I might do it. I might go the dumbest bets you can possibly make and make all of them. Because I'm like, that's the way this year's leading up to. Is just the dumb shit's gonna work out.
I'm just gonna start betting whoever's plus over 1,000 to catch the first touchdown. I'm gonna grab one from each team every game from now on. It's
That
always
seems
gonna be
legit.
give me some tackle eligible shit. I'm over it. I don't even care. Like it's so fucking stupid. I mean, it's good. I mean, whatever, parody or whatever that crap is. But like you're telling me there's a chance there's not gonna be any Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen in the fucking playoffs?
That's pretty wild.
It's pretty fucking wild.
What? That's crazy to me. I mean,
And you look
wait,
at
what?
Peyton-
Here's another one. Hey, how about this one? What if I told you this? And this is not. It probably won't happen because that division's so fucked. But what if all the wheels fell off, and there's no Josh Allen, there's no Patrick Mahomes, and there's no Lamar Jackson in the playoffs.
No
What
Joe
if that
Burrow.
happens?
No Joe Burrow.
So you're telling me at
That's
that point it
toast.
would be Aaron Rodgers would make his way in? It would be Aaron
And
Rodgers.
that's why Adam Thielen wanted a chance to play for a Super Bowl, so he chose to go to the Steelers today.
Can you imagine
So I
how
was
good
like-
a parking spot? Can you imagine how good the parking spots that team gets for how handicapped is that fucking those old fuckers? It's the oldest fucking team on the planet. Now that being said, as much as I would like to be honest here, and it's the weirdest year on the planet, I do need to point out to you that the Bengals and Joe Burrow are not eliminated,
Nope.
Oh,
and
never
they
are.
have their destiny in their hands. If they win out, they'll be playing their division too. They could claw back into this. And I'm just saying, at a year like this, Baltimore's trash. Their defense is garbage. Lamar is obviously hurt. Aaron Rodgers is trash. I'm just saying, like, it's a weird year. Don't be shocked when the Bengals are playing in the last game of the game of this year, trying to claw their way
Yeah.
into a garbage. Like an 8-9 wins that division.
Hey,
You know
I
what
will
I
tell
mean?
you, if the Bengals somehow find their way in, that's my money right there. I bet
Joey
Joe
B.
Cool, I bet Joe Cool all day long.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
so-
That
I'm
defense.
so-
You talk about it. You talk about a bad defense. That's a historically bad defense.
Maybe I'll
But
bet
They
the
always
Bears.
are.
Maybe I'll bet the Bears, so it's sure they'll lose.
You know who's got? Hey, you know what bet? You know what I saw today? You know what the
No.
biggest bet in NFL for a Super Bowl winner is so far this year, taken at any sports book?
Jaguars.
$500,000 on the Bears when they were 60-1.
Ooh.
Wow.
Brent, what
Someone
did you
bet
do?
$500,000 on the
God
Bears at
dang, I'm so
60-1.
sorry. We're gonna have to edit the hell out
Guys,
of
that's
this
why
video.
I'm on here. I'm on here today. I'm trying to get as many people to hear this. I need good fortune. My wife's going to leave me.
Dude,
Steve, I would have to have.
We're gonna have to add every time I said his name.
dude.
I have not bet since week 1 because I'm such a loser and I'm so impulsive, and I just realized I just can't do it anymore. I got to stop feeling like I get a hunch during live betting and feel like I know what I'm like. There's no way they can lose this game at home. They're going to come back. And I don't bet I didn't bet the Bears, but I had week 1. I put the rest. This is going to be embarrassing, but I had $25 in my DK account, and I'm like, you know what? I got a hunch. Caleb Williams, week 1, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2+ rushing touchdowns. He gets the first rush touchdown in the first quarter. He gets the second rushing touchdown, and it was like for like $1,000. He gets the second rushing touchdown, and I was like, he stepped out, didn't he? They reviewed. I'm like, fuck! I'm like, come on. So then I got down, and I'm like, that's it. I don't deserve to be. I'm not going to win any money. Like, this is just the way it's going to go. I'm like, that's it. That was my first and only bet of the NFL season. And this is weird because normally that's how I get through my winters. Just gambling on random college basketball games and the 9 o'clock West Coast Mountain, the old Mountain West games and that shit.
So Donnie sat in my family room and told me, "You're an idiot if you bet Florida State versus Alabama." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I know I would be. I know I would be." He's like, "Don't bet with your heart. Don't bet with your heart." Specs, I put $100 on Florida State to beat Alabama.
Oh, wow.
And he goes,
They
No, I'm
won.
saying it's like,
yeah,
like
he's like,
you
he's
know
like,
you
did-
act. I
he's
thought
like, you did what? I'm like, yeah, dude, I bet $100 on Florida State to beat Alabama. I then lost all that money on every Florida State game going forward.
I thought you said you were going to put $100 and he talked you out of it.
Oh no,
Okay.
I did it. I told
No,
him.
no
I
one
told
listen.
him
No
I
one should
didn't.
ever. No one should ever listen to me when it comes to betting. Ever. Don't ever listen to me.
That's not true.
I'll give you advice,
I
but you
bet
should never
everything you
take it.
bet. I bet everything you bet.
Don't. That all went south on Friday when with the Philly game. But it's all right.
Yeah.
I made it back when I doubled down and went on. I bet against your boy Shador. That being said, I will
That's
give you
it.
this one. Bet against, take whatever team's playing the Raiders and the points for the rest of the year. That team's cooked.
Oh,
For sure.
Pete Carroll couldn't get it done. You know, not to go back to the Bears, but I think what we were talking about before about a quarterback on a rookie contract, that Russell Wilson Seahawks team was a prime example that they were able to load up that defense. They loaded up
Yep.
the offensive line. Russell Wilson was on that contract, and ever since then, Russell Wilson hasn't been able to take a team when making the money that he's making now.
Yeah.
It's like he's not a good enough quarterback to compensate for having an average roster.
Exactly.
Wasn't he
That's
already-
that's your fear.
Hold on. I got to push back a little bit. Wasn't he good enough when he was younger? A young Russell Wilson was an extremely accurate long ball passer.
But what
he
I'm
had,
saying
he had,
is that
he had a
his
great team
roster,
around him.
No,
The Legion of
argument,
Boom.
No argument.
Marshawn Lynch, who else?
Tyler
he had
Lockett, Doug Baldwin.
he had
Like
some
those
dudes.
guys were jitterbugs, man. They were a problem.
You just said one player, Marshawn Lynch. You said Tyler
Marshawn Lynch.
Lockett. Come on,
Tyler
dude.
Lockett caught a shit ton of touchdowns.
You want to know why? Because early on in Russell Wilson's career, he was extremely accurate with the long ball. Extremely accurate.
I don't know that.
Hey, I have nothing to back this up. For a brief stint, he was the most accurate quarterback with like 45 plus yards, 55-yard passes. I bet you.
Well, here's the
That dude
thing,
was a
throw-
stud on long balls.
dude. Like
He's a shit quarterback now.
Dude, like he had this amazing talent of just like his long ball went up so high and arcing that it gave all those little guys all that time to run underneath it.
All right.
And like he just let everybody out there. I mean, I'm not saying he's not accurate at the time, but I just, you can only do that so much. Like, yeah, you have to be able to do everything else underneath to open that up. Because if you can't open up,
I feel like he did. He did. Early on in his career, Russell Wilson was a boss. That dude was a stud. Early on
I
in his
think
career,
I think that box got stacked a lot because it was pretty hard to tackle Marshawn Lynch. I think you had 8 guys in the box for a little while there because of him.
I get it.
I'm not a big
Troy
Russell
Aikman
Wilson
sucked
guy.
Too. Joe Montana sucked
But-
too because he had Jerry Rice. Whatever, dude.
No.
Like, those arguments mean nothing to me. Joe Montana
think
sucked
he was
because
great.
He had Jerry Rice.
He was
Doesn't make any
great
sense.
when he had the full roster.
Every player is great when he has a full roster.
But when
Name
you
a
make
player
when you make a half of or a quarter of $1 billion, it's hard to pay everybody else. And then you got to be good enough to make those other guys better.
There's only one player in the history of sports, especially football, that can fall into the category the greatest without having anything wrong is Barry Sanders. That's the only argument I have. Who else?
Yeah, I mean, he was the greatest that had nothing around him because that guy wasn't. He might have been an alien.
So don't make the argument that player had somebody around. Of course, every great NFL team is filled with superstars.
But I'm saying if you have to pay your quarterback X amount of money, he needs to be at a certain level where he could take 6 and 7s and make them 8 and 9s. Like that. Like Aaron Rodgers made wide receivers special.
Tom Brady didn't matter who he had out there. When he had that Randy Moss year, it was a little different. But
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
like
different.
Tom Brady with
But
Randy
you're
Moss.
not gonna sit there
You
and
know
you're
what,
not gonna
though?
sit there and tell me Danny Amendola was that good.
I'm not,
Like,
but I will. But I will tell you that the defenses they had that year, those years, were great. That made it his job very easy.
but Tom Brady was also never the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
I
He always
I
took less money.
totally, I'm with you. I totally agree.
So
But
that's what you
And
need.
they-
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know any team that was led by one superstar that was great.
No, that's not real.
Yeah.
But
It's
I just
not real. You have
it's,
to have multiple superstars to be great.
it seems though you run into issues when you have what I would love to find out the numbers on whether or not
It's
the
two.
highest paid player in the NFL at quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl.
That's
I would love to
interesting.
know that. I would love to know if you have a highest paid player at his position, especially a quarterback, if they've ever won a Super Bowl.
So what was Peyton Manning? Was he he was in a big contract when he beat the Bears, right? That was a big extension. Was he? I mean, was
He
Peyton
may have
Manning a
been.
top quarterback?
I got to look into that. Yeah, like I said, I don't know the numbers, and I might have to look it up. But I'll tell you the next time we talk, I'll know because I'm curious about that. It just seems like look at, I mean, even now you look at the Bengals. You have Burrow, Higgins, and Chase, and nobody else. Nothing.
And you can't win it. You can't win with that.
It's hard. It's hard. Well, if you want to know, though, the Hawks are up 2-1.
Yes, they are. Hawks are also in the box.
Let's go Hawks. Beautiful thing. So, all right. As we continue on, I would like, as we finish up, as we have 3 minutes left, I want to know who wins Sunday. I want scores. I think Specs can go last. I think that's fair.
Thank you. I need a couple sips here.
I'll go first because I asked the question, and I'll rip the Band-Aid off. I think the Pack, big win, need to get their shit back together. They need to want to regain first place. I worry that maybe the Bears are feeling themselves a little bit after beating a team that maybe isn't as good as they thought it was, but maybe feel a little bit on a high right now. I just don't see them winning this many in a row. I think 28-17 seems about right, Pack.
I think
28-17 Pack.
All right. I think the game's won by a field goal. And the Bears win. Because the Bears are feeling themselves. There's nothing better than a shitty team that thinks they're good. And I'm not saying they're a shitty team. I'm just saying, those shitty teams where you're like, oh man, they're feeling it. They came in here. Dude, look what Carolina just did. Carolina's a shitty team that just handed it to the Rams. The Bears are feeling it. Dude, their coach, Ben Johnson, jumping around with his shirt off. That locker room is locked in. I got the Bears going in to Lambeau, winning by a field goal. That's it.
I will tell you this. If they go in there and they do that.
And this is the first time this year I've picked the Bears.
I would be unbelievably impressed. Like that says
I was unbelievably
that says a million times more than this last game.
I agree with that. This will be a bigger victory than the Eagles. I totally agree. Because no one expects them to beat the Eagles. This is like a challenge game.
This is this game this Sunday for the Bears is the biggest game they've played in so long. I can't remember the last time a game meant this much. Like If they could win this game, it would be unbelievable for them and their fan base and everything.
The Pack is coming off a good game.
Yeah.
So it's not a easy win. I'm not saying it's gonna be an easy win. I say it's a last minute field goal. The Bears win.
Okay, so split. I guess I'm the tiebreaker.
Let's go. Let's go, Specs.
The Bears fan. So I look at this 3-game stretch, 2 against Green Bay. The game at home just got put on Sunday night. Or Saturday night. So that next so in 3 weeks, December 20th, the Bears play Packers on Saturday night, 7:20. Got moved to prime time.
Flex.
The Philadelphia Eagles and Commanders got demoted. So the Bears just went in and took their primetime slot. Like, they want to see us now, losers. So they have the Browns at home sandwiched in between these 3 games, or these 2 games. So they go at – so I think that this game, the Bears are going to go – it should be a good game, but that defense scares me. I think they can't put the ball in the end zone because the passing game can't do what it needs to do at this point. Cold weather, that ball's hard. Micah Parsons is a nuisance, and on Ozzie Trapillo, they'll chip him. I am thinking it's going to be. I think it's 20-13 Packers. I think the Bears struggle on offense.
I think Micah's a bitch. Just saying.
Hot take.
Hot take. It's a fucking
you know what? Wait, before we shut this down, you know what my dream would be? Is that one day this podcast would ever get so big that you could ever say this shit to some famous people's faces.
I will say it right to his face. Micah's a bitch. Micah's
I'm going to tell you right now. The best part about this is I'm gonna cut this up and I'm gonna tag him in this on Instagram.
Bring it.
Micah's a bitch.
Micah's a bitch.
I'm a bitch.
I don't
afraid
necessarily.
Of the Packers.
I don't think you're a bitch. I'm not a big fan, but I don't think you're a bitch.
I am a fan. Micah was not used correctly, complained about being underpaid, but never complained about his defensive coordinator, who should have used him correctly. Then turned down a boatload of money in Dallas because he's like, oh, I'm going to be better. All right, go to Green Bay. You're not fucking better. You're the same dude. He's the same dude. He's the same little bitch. He's a basic bitch. Unless he has a defensive coordinator that uses him correctly, Micah Parsons is a basic bitch.
That's it. That's the commercial. That's the cut. That's it. That's gonna be the one. Florida Steve. That's effing terrible. I love that.
Let's fucking go. Bring it on, Micah. Where are you at?
Micah Parsons is a basic bitch. I could see that T-shirt printing itself. Micah Parsons wears Uggs in the winter. Like,
leave Tom Brady out of this.
Hey, Tom Brady can wear whatever he wants. All right, well, dude, this was good. Specs, you are officially welcome back anytime you'd like. And seeing as how you're closer to me than Steve, maybe we'll have to do a remote here soon.
Hey,
sounds good.
Hey, let's lock in this prep game.
Oh, the JOG showcase. As soon as I have dates, I'll let you know.
Let's lock that in.
But I'm also,
and I guarantee Specs is in.
I'll tell you what, I can shoot Specs the message right now. What you should do is you should grab a couple of buddies, and on December 19th, you should come on out and watch the Lake Central Crown Point hockey game right on the border of Indiana and Illinois. It's gonna be a rowdy night.
My buddy lives out in Dyer. I know Lake Central's a powerhouse in most sports, right? So
they are growing their hockey program. They're regaining powerhouse status there, but they play in Dyer. That's our home rink, and they share a rink with Crown Point, and they play the rivalry game on the 19th.
Steve,
So
my
for
buddy
anyone
is
who's
Rhett
listening,
Dwyer,
check it out.
What's that?
Rhett lives in Dyer. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, fucking hey, dude. Hey,
So
I won't be able to be there, but you
Yeah.
absolutely. If you want to have honestly, a great time, go. It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
We
It
had
is so
fun.
Oh, yeah.
awesome. I went to the last two Lake Central games ago. Got to go up in the booth. Not call the game, but basically call the game. I called it. They weren't listening. No one was listening, but I called it. It was awesome. You absolutely should do it.
It's a good time. Well, I'll send you the info.
That'd be a good
I'll make
excuse
sure
to get,
Go ahead, man.
No, I was saying that'd be a good excuse to get my buddy together too. I know it's not that far, it's like 40 minutes, but it's just like, it always seems like it's like, so far. Dyer's so far from Tinley.
Oh, it's not that bad. But
It's
yeah,
not
you're
really.
right there. It's in the game's in Dyer for anyone who's listening. December 19th, Midwest Training and Ice, Dyer, Indiana. The Lake Central Indians will take on the Crown Point Bulldogs for their final rivalry game of the season. Make sure you head out there. Our sister company, 219 Hockey, will be throwing out T-shirts in between periods using our T-shirt slingshots. And yours truly will be calling the game. So make sure to check that out. Guys, this was a lot of fun. Let's figure out what we're going to do next time. Maybe so that the game for this Sunday, it's a Sunday at 3? Is it 3 or is it what's kicked
This
for the
is
Bears pack?
325.
Hey,
We may have to
325.
hey, interesting fact about this Sunday.
I know what it is.
What?
It's two of my very favorite people's birthdays.
Let's
Two
go.
of
Well,
them.
hey, there you go, man. Hey,
I
you got to
assumed you
take
were
your
flying
shirt
out.
off if the Bears win. I'll take my shirt off if the Bears win.
If the Bears win, shirts are off.
We do a shirtless podcast next week.
Listen, I'll tell you.
I will make that
I will
deal.
Tell you what. I'll tell you what. Florida Steve is betting $100 on the Bears versus the Packers.
That's the great idea.
Money line?
If I win, all proceeds go to random shit given out to effing terrible fans.
I like it.
Yep.
We'll be in touch, but I love the idea of a shirtless podcast Sunday night. We can wait for that 7:00 game to kick off.
Nips out.
Look out. All the housewives in the local area are going to be tuning in.
Hey, just so you know, my nips are going to be covered in cool water, ready to go.
Nice. All right.
Just
Well,
the way
for
I
everyone that's listening, thank you very much. Let us know how you felt about everything we had to say. Please feel free to bitch, complain the way that you always do. And you find us on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook under Effing Terrible Sports, or our podcast, The Effing Terrible Podcast, wherever you download your podcasts, or also our YouTube page under Effing Terrible Sports. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks for having me.
Love you.